It's about a 30-something woman who started her sort of career as a want-to-be doctor and had to leave it all and sacrificed it for her friend, to protect her friend who had a terrible thing happen to her. And you're meeting this character 10 years later and she's still living very much in the centre of the trauma of what happened to her, but she's trying to find a way through it. And her way through it is to sort of, one by one, correct injustices and school men on how to behave appropriately. The most interesting part of this story is not the extremes and the absolute worst violence that is experienced by women, or the worst violations. It's the really subtle stuff that we've just become so used to in our society. And those are the scenes in the film that I find really interesting. They're the everyday occurrences that happen to young girls, you know, and women, that we've just become, that we all grew up sort of feeling very used to and accepting of. And so that's the part of it's the ambiguity around all of this stuff that I think Emerald's really looking at in this story. It's, obviously there's a very clear right and wrong at the heart of this story, and that's what her kind of path is, trying to sort of correct. But there's also, throughout, there's these moments that you can justifiably have two different perspectives on, and I think it's those grey areas that we don't talk about that are the areas that are really interesting. I remember Emerald saying to me when we met, you know, what would you, I'm sick of sort of machete and lipstick films, girls on revenge paths, like what would you actually do if your friend was wronged like that? What lengths would you actually go to for your friend? And I think it was that combination of it being a film about women standing up for each other, but also that sort of loyalty, just like standing by someone and doing something in their memory, no matter what. And I remember, like, a couple of days into filming being like, we should send out a memo to all other directors that you can just be lovely and pregnant, but you can just be lovely all the time and get the job done brilliantly. I just haven't seen her lose her rag, and she's just lovely and really insightful and smart and direct, and she doesn't mess around. And she can give a, like, perfect note as soon as you need it. She doesn't ever cut the camera until she's happy. Yeah, I mean, she's literally, and it would never in a million years cross your mind that she hadn't directed 15 other films if you didn't know that this was her first feature, because she's just completely at home.